Well, it is a brand new week here at the Nautilus Dry Docks, and you found Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy. All we do here, RC submarines, and we've got 3 projects that we're going to be knocking out this week. Let's take a quick look. We got a shark to get in the water. We got a Typhoon to get in the water. We got an Ohio to finish putting together and getting off the bench. And we've also got a giant USS Runner that we need to get shipped out. So we got a lot to do. Let's get started. I'm gonna start things out here this morning working on a shark. And where we left off last week. Got the body assembled, the head on, we got all the guts and gizmos in there all ready to get connected and running. We're just finishing up cosmetics. We're just going to do a little sandy sand here, and then it will basically be ready for trimming, because we're going to trim it before we paint it. That's what you do with RC submarines. So what we're going to be doing as part of the trimming process is going to be adding some weight to the belly here to create a nice stable shark. The battery is already pretty low, so that's a good thing. We're going to keep that going, but we are going to add some additional weight to the belly, and then just throw it together and chuck it in the water, see where it floats, figure that all out. So I'm going to grab my sandpaper, sand on the shark a little bit, and then let's throw some weight in the belly. Well, I sandified the hull, nice and smooth now. We're going to be ready for primer after we chuck it in the water and get it all trimmed out and ready for cosmetics. This is what I did for weights in the bottom here. I got 2 duck weights and 2 strips of lead I had before. I'm going to go ahead and weigh those so that you know exactly how much weight to put in the belly. And this is saying the combined weight of the belly and the weights is 868 grams, 0.86 kilograms. So whatever weight you end up deciding to use, be it stick-on weights or duck weights or bolts and nuts or whatever it is you want to do, 868 is the total weight of the belly and your ballast. At least that is what I'm going with to start with. It may be that we need to add a little bit more or a little bit less or something. We'll figure it out once we get it in the water. I have glued and melted Ohio together, but I overstepped myself a little bit. So this looks really good, and you can see these heat staples that I use. I talked about that in my last video, right? They work really good. I like this. You just kind of like tack it and stuff. And it holds it really nicely for fiberglassing, which is what Logan's going to do today. Ordinarily, this would be fine. Absolutely fine. But I want to make these work. And the challenge is these holes in here should have been cleaned up before I glued all this together. So I could have run my big long bit through and opened all of these up just a little bit so that I could slip my rods through. But I didn't. So this is my thought process. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, which is fine anyway, see if I can find some big 3-foot long sections of 1/8 inch material, probably brass. Then I can chop it up afterwards or use it for stuff. But then what I'm going to do, we'll start from way back here and slip it forward. And if you take this brass rod and you notch it on the end with your cutoff tool, you create a drill bit. So what I can do is from the back here, I can run it through all of these holes, and it'll clean all of them up a little bit. Now, ideally, actually, we would get something a little oversized, 1/8 inch plus. But worst case scenario, I think I could probably figure out a way to just maybe squish the middle of this just a little bit to make a larger tolerance, because we want that rod to move very, very freely. At the end of the day, I didn't lose any time because Logan still needs to glass this up for me before I can move to this step. So I'm going to see if I can find that material, check off the old Amazon and see if, we can get it here and make a gigantic drill bit so that we can get all of those epically cool missile hatches working. And just like that, it's Wednesday. I'm excited. You can see I'm not in like my normal work clothes. I'm in like shop clothes for the first time in a while. And the reason is I took the day off, the job that pays money. And we're going to be doing some work around the shop all day. Well, as much as we can. We're going to start things out. Packing up the USS Runner. Let's reminisce a little bit, shall we? So the Runner, SS-476, was a boat I featured a while ago when we were up at Groton. You guys saw us pick it up. Remember? We were in the Suburban. That thing was sitting between the two front seats of Logan and me. 32nd parallel, 32nd scale hull. And this thing is just, it's immaculate, guys. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. But it's old, it's 20 some odd years since anybody's had some, TLC on this poor thing. So I managed to sell it. I needed to get realistic about my time. Refitting this boat is going to be a massive undertaking. It's probably going to need to be gutted. But somebody decided to take it on, Mr. James, and we're going to be packing it up in its very own crate that it came with. And beautiful crate, wooden crate, and it gets sandwiched in there really, really good. A couple of things we're going to need to do before we ship it out. We're going to put some 2x4s underneath so pallet jacks get in there. When the trucking company shows up, he'll be able to grab it without a problem. Get the boat in there, get some foam packs in there, get everything strapped down, get it ready to go, and then we can move on to some fun RC sub stuff. So this is how the previous owner had this all rigged up. This was his pondside transport case. Like, check out that silhouette on the side of the box. How cool is that? The whole boat goes in there. We got padding front and back with carpet and styrofoam. We're getting some styrofoam packs. We're gonna lodge it in left and right, and then really there'll be nothing to happen. All these straps and everything are gonna hold it down in case it gets rolled, which I really hope doesn't happen. And away it goes. The stand, unfortunately, does not fit in the box. This is just like a piece of art all on its own, all welded, sanded, coated. What a beautiful piece of work. Obviously took so much time and care. But we're gonna expanding foamify this thing right now and close it up, and I can schedule a truck. Runner set to go. Paperwork's all there. It's all screwed down, bolted down, ready to get picked up. So just waiting on the shipping company to let me know when they're going to be here. Hopefully today. So with that, it's shark time. It's not painted. You don't paint stuff until after you've done the trimifying, people. Wanted to make sure in the fins here, you got your vent hole on top. And then I drilled out the bottom one. There was a little pinhole down there. I drilled it out a little bigger. And that's how the water is going to get in and fill these, because these are hollow. We didn't want to make it solid. That would have been ridiculous. So we're going to bolt these on and dunkify the shark and see where it floats. So here we are out at our top secret test facility. When you're trimming your shark, you just need something big enough to fit your shark and deep enough that you can get the back out. That's all you need. I want to point something out here real quick. If you look over on the fence, you'll see an owl. And if you look behind Logan, another owl. And if you look over there, we've actually got a little hawk sitting in the flower bed too. There's a reason for this, and we need your help. We're being plagued by flocks of vultures here in our yard. They sit on the fence and they taunt the dog, which I don't even care so much about, but now they've taken to sitting in our patio furniture and pooping on it. So obviously they don't care about owls or decoys or anything like that. We've been shooting at them with slingshots with various levels of success. All they've done is learn when we open the door to fly away. If you have an idea, let me know. Does that grape extract stuff work? The bird repellent? I don't know. The research I did said no, but anyhow. Time to dunk this in the water. It's perfectly dry. You can see this has not seen the water yet, so it's going to be as much a surprise to you as it is to me where it floats.
Straight down.
Straight down. You want them to sit kind of like this. You need more in the front, right under the gills. So what we could do is take some weight out of his belly. I got a lot of weight in there. Let's try doing that first. So what we have determined is we need a block basically right in that big, nice, hollow area directly under or on top of the thruster boxes. So right in the middle of the gills. So Logan's brought some foam. This is going to be perfect. A big block there. We're going to jam it in, probably through his mouth, I think. And then we'll jam it in there somehow and throw this thing back in the water. So with that block of foam, this is where we are at. Now this would, in theory, make for a really cool and easy control under the water, because the closer to neutral buoyancy you can get, the better. But we want this thing a little higher so that when you're driving it around on the surface, people can see it more easily. So we're going to add just a little bit more to that area. Get him so maybe he's up here. So I think we got it. If we take a look at him right now, we got a little bit of back out of the water, a little bit of tail out of the water. This doesn't really mean anything because we don't know how it's going to perform when we power it up, which is something we're going to have to do right now. So we got the motors plugged into the motor compartment, which probably should have been something that I did earlier. Our phone now needs to get kind of jammed back into place, but we connected the power and we got thrusters. So we're gonna push our foam back into place, throw the belly on, dump it in the big test facility, and just see what it does. All right, let's. So this is left thruster. So this is full turn kind of thing. That is nice and tight. Okay, good stuff. Other way. Looking good. Let's give it a little forward thrust. Okay, she's going straight down. Woo-wee. Yeah, so we might need to either add a little bit more foam to the mouth, because the fins, the pectoral fins, are in the middle of the body, so they'll control depth, but not pitch.
Yeah, foam in the mouth would probably be the smartest.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have foam here.
Yeah.
Can we just bring her over here and let her resurface? We can just grab another cube and chuck it in his mouth.
This thing is going to be so quick. Holy crap.
Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom.
All right, there he is, right at the top of the head. So now we got more of a back profile, which I like. All right, let's see what that does. Oh boy, I think we might have got it. This is about like 1/10 throttle right now.
So she'll stay on the surface if you go nice and light, but as soon as you heave it, goes
yeah,
down. That's pretty perfect.
I think we got it. I think even a little bit of upward rake on the side fins might be beneficial as well. Let's get them back here. We'll tilt them up just a little bit more.
Now we're going.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of secret sauce right there. A little bit of upward cant on the fins. I think we got it. a lot, like I was saying, a lot of this is going to be up to the individual owner in terms of how he drives it. You know, if you don't want to dive under the water, if you just want to freak people out on the surface, give it some more foam. You know, get her up out of the water, and, you know. But, you know, if you do want to take it under for whatever reason, then, you know, this is probably more where you'd want to be. So, I think we got it. And I will say that, based on working on this and dropping it in the water and pulling it in and out and everything, this size of shark is infinitely more convenient than the 5-foot or 4-foot shark, like by an order of magnitude. It's much, much lighter. It's easier to drop in. The odds of you breaking it are much less because there's less weight, less likelihood of something flopping around and bumping into things. So, you know, yeah, it's not a gigantic, you know, super imposing, scary shark, but from a distance, it looks ultra realistic, and that size, it just, I'm a big fan. Now that we got shark back on here, we're gonna take stock of all the trim stuff that we did, and I'll zero back, let you know how much weight, how much foam, and all of that stuff. Now, excellent time, open up your battery compartment, make sure there's no water in there. Did I mention it is hot as hell here right now in Texas? 87 degrees in the shop right now. Nice and dry with relative humidity around 85%, 90%. Couple of things. I cleaned up the foam installation. You can see that kind of nestled in there. 4 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches is the block. And then I added just a little bit more in the bottom there, like what we talked about. The other thing I did is made a little test hose. So you just drill a 3/32 hole, put some 3/32 brass in there, and then a piece of tubing. And what this allows you to do is submerge the shark, flip them upside down, blow in the hose, and look for bubbles. And I would recommend you do this before every run. Absolutely 100%. That makes sure you didn't like trap a cable in there or anything like that and sink your shark. It won't sink, I don't think. But at any rate, you're going to want to do it. Removed weight. You guys remember we had that weight total from before. It is now 84 grams. 84 grams total. That's what you're after. While the silicone in the shark is solidificationing, I'm going to take Typhoon. Oh, might as well chuck that sucker in the pool there and see. I added some foam up in the front and none in the back because I don't know how much flotation my big waterproof container box area provides. It'll probably all sink. I don't know. We'll just throw it in. Let's just go at it. We have to have a starting point. So let's throw it in, see what it does. All right, back out at the top secret test facility, and Typhoon is in hand. Let's see what she does. Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? This is like literally where it needs to float. We could come down in the bow a little bit. Are you serious? Look at that freeboard, guys. Now, the question is, did I do my mathematicals correct? And the ballast tank will take it down to submerged trim. Well, let's see here. Maybe I'll grab some weights. We'll put them in the bow so that we're even in the back there, because that looks like it's about 3/16 of an inch below the seam, or above the seam. So we want to get from here, which is at the seam, to about here. Yeah, like this. So I'll grab a couple stick-on weights, put those in the bow, get them all secured, and then I guess I'll grab my radio and try and cycle the ballast. This is just weird, people. The whole trimming process does not usually go like this. is usually at least 18 trips to and from the pond. This might be one. Okay, I got the weights low in there, and then what I also did is I just jabbed this, connected it to the ballast system because I want to cycle the ballast and see what it does. The sun is so freaking hot, it softened the hull to the point it was like mushy. The thing is, he wanted it this small, which means all the walls got scaled down, so it's super thin, it heats up really quick. This is just, he's just going to have to live with this. You know, it's a result of us acceding to his demands to make a tiny boat. That's the way it works. Let's throw this thing in the pool, and see what cycling the ballast does. Okay, here we are in the water, floating at a nice water line. Beautiful. Down we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is it going down? Yeah, it is going down. It's going down nice and level. Whoa! Ah! Ugh! Ugh! Well, that was not awesome. I think we're going to need to ballast her down. All right. Yeah, and that'll offer some more stability as well. You can see now that we're taking this on. Well, this is not good at all. Pumping the ballast tank out right now. Boy, it's like super stable with the tank empty. All right. Well, we're going to need, I guess, more foam and more weight, which means we may not be able to get to our super awesome water line. It'll need to be lower. All right. All good. It's all good. Cool down, baby. Cool down. Cool down. And just a quick update on the big 8-foot Nautilus. We got parts and parts and parts getting printed. Also printed out for Frank scale, 24 scale figures, which turned out pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know, I'm guessing 60, 70% done. Well, like I said, we'll see if we can tack it all together so you can see what it looks like when it's done. But it's fun. This is fun. Before I forget, I owe you guys an update on Subfest West in Nevada there. We've been fighting like heck, myself and Ron and Howard, trying to get the resort that we singled out to be communicative with us in regards to availability and pricing and all of that stuff, and we have got nothing. A few emails, one conversation, promises, nothing else. Last week I set a final deadline of today, which is Friday, for this information. It's just not fair to us, it's not fair to you, because everybody's got to make plans. You know, it's a big trip, and we got lots and lots to do. You don't just throw this together. There's a ton of work that goes into putting an event like this on. They've given us nothing. So unless between now and the end of the day, they get back with everything and it all looks good, we can pull the trigger. As of right now, I'm going to say the event is likely not going to end up happening. So we'll know for sure. As soon as that happens, anybody that's expressed interest through my website, I'll reach out to you and let you know what the final call is. But hugely disappointing. I think the resort made a massive mistake not working with us. I don't know why they're not interested in having like 60 people at the resort, but that is the way it goes. Let's take stock of where we ended up from yesterday. Shark worked good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, actually really, really good.
Yeah, this size seems to be really quite efficient.
Yeah, it's going to be quick as heck too. It added extra foam, so a little more flotation in the front. I think that was the secret sauce. But paint is going to be coming up for this shark next week. Typhoon. I was super excited at where it was floating. I guess you didn't see, I think, because I had it out, but it was floating like all the way up here.
Oh wow, that's
So
actually
like
really good.
the entire upper hull was out, and it was stable on the surface. But as soon as you flood the tank, it rolled over like a dead whale. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to add a bunch of weight in here and see what we can make happen in terms of floatifying it. Maybe more weight down below here, and we can add some foam above the battery pack. Try and keep it as low under that surface water line as we can. Logan's going to be finishing up these drills. These are going to get off the bench. So that means next week, with the shark painted, it'll be basically done and ready to go. That means our Seawolf over there is going to hit the bench, and we're going to do some conversion to wireless, which means we're going to have some pretty darn cool things going on. But to finish off this week, we need to, we have a bittersweet moment, because this, right now, today, is Logan's last day in the shop before he heads off to Texas Tech. So what's the plan for tomorrow?
We're gonna wake up nice and early and basically just drive there. Even though it's still in Texas, it's gonna be about an 8-hour drive, so we'll head out early and end up getting there around early afternoon. Spend the day getting everything ready and set up.
Yeah, and then what? Another day getting the last of your apartment stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got most of his stuff already, but we got a little bit of shopping to do to outfit his apartment. And then Renee and I fly back home on Monday. So first day of work back in the shop isn't going to be until Tuesday, so it'll be another truncated week, but we're still going to try and get lots done. We're still going to try, even though there may only be just a few days of work. But anyhow, so I'm sure everybody's sad to see you go. It was awesome having you here. I wish you could hang around, but I know this is what needs to happen. Flee the nest or whatever. All right, guys. On behalf of myself and
Logan.
you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll catch up with you next week